Locked and loaded, rock and roll. Let's get ready to go. It's new week, new money. It's a Monday right here on Donnie RightSide's Major League Baseball show presented by RightWager.com, baby. Let's get after it. Let's get those vibes in the building. It's a Monday. We got a nice card here. Yes, I know you guys are sitting out there saying, hey, we want some action in the NFL and college football. Not yet. Not yet, people. Slow play and delay those sports here. We'll hammer both of those a little bit later in the season. But Major League Baseball right now, that's where we have to be. One Thursday, one Friday, one Saturday, one and two yesterday. Had 5 games picked out. If I would have bet all 5, would have been 2 and 3. Ended up betting 3 games, 1 and 2. Missed out on some opportunities. It happens. I just wish I would have bet an alt team total parlay yesterday, which I should have. I didn't bet it on Saturday. Went 2 and 1. Would have been 3 and 1. Didn't bet it yesterday. Would even be up. But it is what it is. We'll get some action today because I do have some really, really good spots to pick out. So we're going to start the dance, baby. What's up out there? Joshua, Aaron, Darren, chat box, filling up, baby. Let's go, man. We're going to have some fun today because, again, Monday we do have a good card. We'll take a look at some of the pitchers. I've already picked out a few teams and situations that I want to play against, but also it does have to make sense with some of the lineups that are coming out a little bit later. But feeling good, late August. Next week, when we start up new week, new money after Labor Day, that's September, and you're into the NFL season. Now, for me, when you're talking about packages, right, Major League Baseball is going to flow all the way through September and into the playoffs if we do get action. The playoffs are a little bit tougher because you're not dealing with bad pitchers at that point, right? So, and you're dealing with really good bullpens, but I know we'll be premium all the way through September. Trying to come up with a game plan on the NFL because typically in the past, when I've had my services, which I haven't had them fired up for 5 years, just turned it back on in August. Usually it's week 3 in the NFL, and then college football maybe around week 3, week 4 at that point. There'll be plenty of bets, plenty of information, plenty of hammer times, but right now we're really focused on Major League Baseball, and we should be able to kick it and let it get after it here. Let me just check to see some social media platforms that we're on and kicking it here today. There are some really good topics, but we will have NFL football shows on a day-to-day basis, which are going to be fun. I don't know if it's going to be just like primetime type action at that point or, how we're going to play that out. But there will be football shows primarily Monday, maybe coming on before Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and, of course, on Saturday, like a kickoff show, maybe about a half hour before we get live on the air with 1 o'clock action. I think that will work out the best at this point. So love the people in the chat box. Always love to have fun. Thank you guys for tuning in and getting after it here. But we got some business to do here. We really do. We got some business to do here. Chops, what's up, man? Long Island, shout out. Strong Island out there as away we go. Love when the chat box chimes in and we have some fun kicking it off at this point. But let's take a look at the Major League Baseball card today. Some really good matchups, by the way. The Philadelphia Phillies are taking on the New York Mets. The Phillies are up a touchdown in the win-loss column. Mets and the Phillies are going to play a lot over the next, 17 days. They could dig into it. Kodai Senga's on the mound taking on Christopher Sanchez. Another good one out on the West Coast tonight, San Diego and Seattle. And then also on the West Coast tonight here, Cincinnati and Los Angeles. You say, well, why is that a good series? Well, the Dodgers are fighting for first place in the NL West, and the Cincinnati Reds are a game and a half back of the New York Mets at this point right now. So that's something you got to keep an eye on, no doubt in my mind. My goodness, man. My goodness, where's that coming from here? No, let's not let go. No Mets. Mets ain't going nowhere, especially not tonight. Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Let's look at the pitchers today and go over some of the statistics that really matter. Dating back about 60 days, pitchers at the top of the standings. No surprise. Are we looking to fade Tarek Skubal tonight, even though he's in Sacramento? Probably not, right? He comes in with a 264 xFIP number. Christopher Sanchez, a 251 xFIP number. He's the best xFIP on the card. They're taking on the New York Mets. Brandon Woodruff has been very good. His xFIP number at a 3.09. Ian Seymour, what a fantastic name. Ian Seymour, man. What a fantastic name. Carver's out here in the chat box. Long fly ball. Long fly ball. Put it with the golf. Leave Joe Lisi out of it, but definitely put it with the golf. Ian Seymour's on the mound. Jacob deGrom. They're the top 5 today in some of those xFIP numbers that we love to look at. Joe Ryan, Jose Soriano, Brad Lord. By the way, don't sleep on Brad Lord. Don't sleep on Brad Lord. I'm telling you right now. The guy's a decent pitcher. 372 ERA last 60 days, 352 xFIP number. He's dealing, man. He's dealing. Mixter's in the chat box. We're all chilling, man. Loving life. Absolutely loving life. Middle of the pack guys today. JP Sears, Spencer Strider. Whoever thought we'd say Spencer Strider was the middle of the pack guy? Do you know he has a 7 ERA over the past 60 days? Spencer Strider. Like, usually you look at the card today and it's like, okay, where's our Strider? We're going to try to avoid him, and what's the price point on that game? Edward Cabrera he's going up against. Basically a pick'em. Strider and the Marlins basically a pick. Yeah, it's been that bad. It has been. Tanner Bybee in the middle. Shane Smith toward the end of it. Max Scherzer, decent numbers. I have Mitch Keller listed here, and I don't know why. Let me just see if that erases it with a update, because he's not pitching today. There we go. I think he's gone now. I think we're gone. All right, so let me just update some of these things here. Yeah, Mitch Keller gone. Michael McGreevy's down by the bottom. Sugano's by the bottom. Senga's by the bottom. Eduardo Rodriguez is by the bottom. Some stuff we can really get into and have some fun. But for me, as I say, hey, where do you want to go? Where do you want to stream to? I love the fact that we don't have afternoon baseball because it gives you the entire afternoon to sit on some of these games. But let's take a look at game number one. And if we are looking at the pitching matchup, it's Sugano versus Bernardino. That's Boston and Baltimore, 6:35 start. Roughly a pick 'em, give or take, 115s either side. A total at 9.5, so we're expecting to get runs. Looking at the hitting conditions down there in Baltimore, a little bit cooler, I believe, in some of these spots. 78-degree temperatures at first start, so that won't be bad. Light wind blowing out 7 miles per hour, pretty much to right field. That could help. Let me get the 30 days up here. Now, also, understand this. Bernardino is going to be an opener today, giving way to Richard Fitz, who isn't a great pitcher but doesn't have a lot of work over the past 30 days. Let me take a look at what Richard Fitz has been doing, because apparently he has to be something in the minors here, right? Because I have 17 batters over the past 30 days. His game log. All right, so he's pitched on the 1st of July, the 7th of July, the 22nd of July, and the 28th of July. So he's been down for about a month. Last 2 starts up weren't very good. We take a look at Fitz's minor league action. So he pitched in the minors on the 3rd, 9th, and 15th of August. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. So not too bad. Give up 2 home runs in those 3 starts. I mean, you figure he would get hit, because even now you're starting to see that Baltimore lineup showing itself really well to right-handed pitchers, but they're going to get an opener in that game. It always makes it tricky. Sugano's not a very good pitcher, but he has been better, guys, over the past couple weeks. If I'm looking at his 60-day numbers, they're not that great. But if you cut that down to 30 days or so, his game log, look at this. Like, okay, if we go back to the 27th of July, which basically gives us a month right here. And that gives us 5 total starts. Versus Colorado, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Really good. Versus Chicago, 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Still a quality start. Versus the Athletics, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Versus Seattle, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Versus Boston, 5 innings pitched, no earned runs. Whew, man, that seems kind of tight here at this moment, doesn't it? That seems kind of wacky. Seems kind of wacky wonky. By the way, looking right now, we do have people on X. I'm not showing on my registry that X is being broadcast to, but I am looking right here. Let me just scroll back down. So I know I saw that link come out, and there's people commenting here. Let me see here. Hey, look, there I am right there. Yeah. Boom. All right. Love to see that. I don't know why it's not showing up on my restream here at this point, but the boys are out there in the chat box. The boys are having fun. I don't really have a lot of action here in that Boston-Baltimore game, but to be honest, you probably would think that we would get runs, no? Like, I don't like Sugano, who's been really good. Maybe he regresses back to what we saw most of the season, but always with an opener, you take a little bit with a grain of salt there. Atlanta and Miami. Here's the game we were talking about previously. Strider and Cabrera. Roughly a pick 'em across the board. When do you ever see that? Miami's not a good baseball team at all. Neither is Atlanta, quite frankly, at this point, but they handled the Mets yesterday. That total is listed at 7.5. If we look at Spencer Strider's numbers over the past 60 days, where is he coming in at now? Spencer. 6.92 ERA, which you told you was ridiculously high. Batting average against is 327. His whip rate is 1.79. That's got to be the worst on the card. It is. He's the worst whip rate on the card. A 396 xFIP because he does get strikeouts. His strikeouts per 9 is still 10 for every 9 innings. So that's why he gets that bump on the xFIP. But he's been absolutely brutal. Do you like the lineup for the Miami tonight? It's okay. 87-degree temperatures, but you know that roof isn't going to be open. It's hard to say. Usually you would take like the Strider games and be like, I'm just going to bet unders on him. But he's not the same pitcher. Look at his ISO over the past 30 days against 91 at batters that he's faced. 361. Weighted on base percentage, 542. What's up, Timmy Thomas? What's up, boss? I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. He's been so brutal. Are we just waiting for him to snap back out of it? By the way, Edward Cabrera, 6 on the card today in xFIP. Is he 6? Let me just re-up that. Cabrera's 4th on the card in xFIP, 3.10. Profar looks good. Harris looks good. Ozuna looks good. But look at Edward Cabrera. Last 126 batters he's faced. K rate, 27%, phenomenal. ISO, 105. Weighted on base percentage, 282. Very clean splits between lefties and righties. Maybe it is Miami tonight. Maybe that's the angle you got to take. I certainly don't want to back a hitter on that side. But if you are looking like for the long ball, Jacob Marcy from Miami, Wagaman's got good numbers. Even Javier Sano, who really hasn't really hit anybody, has actually been very good against right-handed pitching over the past month. Maybe he steps to the plate. Not a great game, but you can see why that line is low. First 2 games we went over, right? Boston and Baltimore, rightfully a pick 'em. Atlanta, Miami, roughly a pick 'em. It's the way it is. Tampa Bay is going to take the mound today with Ian Seymour. Great name, as I said, right? Fantastic name. And does he have 20 innings? Yeah, he does have 20 innings. Look at my guy, Ian. A blood relative down there. 4.22 ERA, which is high, but a 3.42 xFIP number. That's good to be in the top 10 on today's card. Going up against Cleveland's Tanner Bybee. Bybee has struggled. 121 batters over the last 30 days. He's got high ISO power numbers and weighted on base percentages here. Where does he come in, though? Do I have him listed? He's 18th on the card. Ooh, he's up there. He is up there. He is up there. 149 ERA minus, 106 xFIP minus, 6 ERA, 444 xFIP number, 420 Sierra. Now, this is in Cleveland. Here's the problem, right? Whenever we see Tampa in Tampa, we give that little, sort of thumbs up. Junior Caminero yesterday with a grand slam, hits their team total. They win that game, 7-2, I think the final was. But now they're playing not in Tampa, which is 80-plus degree temperatures, heat and humidity, and typically a wind blowing out. Now what we're seeing here today is 66-degree temperatures and a double-digit wind blowing in. Low, Caminero, the usual suspects look really good. But, man, Junior Caminero, he really, really gets down. Ian Seymour Bybee, again, minus 120 price, minus 122, minus 125, depending on where you're shopping at for Cleveland. Not a lot of love in this right here. Not a lot of love in this. Washington and New York today. Brad Lord versus Cam Schlittler. Heavy price, man. That's a big price to pay for Schlittler. Minus 225s overnight. They're higher now. You even see 250s out there with BetMGM. You look at that Yankees lineup, it's not fool's gold. That's the wrong word for it. Sometimes when you look at it, you say to yourself, why aren't we hitting more? Why aren't we doing more damage? Didn't have a great series against the Red Sox. Salvaged that last game. 4 home runs yesterday. 2 by Grisham, 2 by Chisholm. Grisham, Judge, Rice, Bellinger, Stanton, Chisholm, Caballero, Wells, all decent numbers. Brad Lord, who is a right-handed pitcher, is dominant against righties, but struggles a little bit against lefties, particularly in the power numbers over the past month. Those lefties, again, short porch guys. Grisham, Judge, Bellinger, Chisholm, McMahon, Wells. That's 6 left-handed batters. 77-degree temperatures in the Bronx, double-digit wind blowing out to right field. That's going to help. You saw a couple of those lefties, as we talked about yesterday, Grisham and Chisholm, nuke job in some of those. Grisham hit one of those Little League home runs that you see in Yankee Stadium, but a couple of those guys absolutely bombed away. And they hit 4 home runs total, 2 between 2 guys. But Lord's numbers, nothing to shake a stick at. Batting average against over the past 60 days, 252. Whip is at a 1.16, not too bad. He's got really good metrics on ERA minus, FIP minus, and xFIP minus. An ERA of 3.72, which is manageable. An xFIP number of 3.52, and a Sierra of 3.60. He's not bad. Any other pitcher, usually you tee up some of these bums that Washington throws out. Brad Lord's not that bum, man. Brad Lord's not that bum. Cam Schlittler on the other side, struggling a little bit with the power numbers to right-handed batters. But you're going to get what? Wood lefty, Abrams lefty, Bell lefty, Garcia lefty, Lyle lefty, and Hassel. So you got 3 right-handed batters in the lineup. But if you look at our guy Cam, he's 10th on the card in xFIP at 3.89. Good ERA, some decent analytical metrics as well. Would like to take this game, but I don't think I'm going to have too much action on it there. But the one thing I do know is we ain't paying that much for Schlittler. That's ridiculously high. It is. No shot at that. No shot. Minnesota and Toronto today. Joe Ryan is on the mound, and Joe Ryan checking in here. 3.54 xFIP number, not bad. 327 FIP, 261 ERA. ERA minus, FIP minus, and xFIP minus, all manageable numbers. WHIP number 1.05, very good over the past 60 days, and the batting average against it around 230. Springer, Barger, Kirk, Varsho, Lukes, Clement, all decent numbers. Not a lot of strikeouts either in that lineup, by the way, against right-handed pitching over the past month. Roof will probably be open, only 65-degree temperatures with the wind blowing in. Won't really affect it because that wind's not going to blow in from that dome down and knock it out. So heat and humidity is what you usually like, but not too hot or humid probably tonight in Toronto. If we go to the other side on this, Max Scherzer's on the mound. And this number comes in. Scherzer opened up as a favorite overnight, 1 to 30-ish range. They're in the 140s now. So money's moving on Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer on my card doesn't have very good numbers, to be honest. Last 60 days, K rate 23%, which is okay. Batting average against 217, not bad. Whip rate 1.06, but his analytical number is a little bit junky. A 3.26 ERA, but look at his xFIP number, 4.63. That's high. Not a huge strikeout pitcher as he used to be in the past. Gives up a lot of fly balls. Buxton, Larnach, Keyshaw, Wallner, Lee, Clemens, Outman, all really good statistics over the past month against right-handed pitching. That's an interesting one because you know me. I'm not giving up on the teams like the Twins and the White Sox. I don't give a damn if they win the baseball game, but sometimes they're going to be able to hit. Sometimes they are going to be able to hit. See when that one pops up. What's that total in that game? 7.5? Now, correct me if I'm wrong with Joe Ryan. Did we have a rough start last time out on Joe Ryan? Let me get his numbers in here. Where you at, JoJo? Joe Ryan. No, not his play card. Come on, game logs. Let's go. He gave up a lot of runs, but not a lot of earned runs against the A's. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 runs, to only 2 of them earned. Otherwise, his last 3 starts, the 4 starts have been really clean at this point. K's, he had 11 strikeouts on July 20th, but after that, 5, 4, 5, 7, and 6. So we haven't seen those super high numbers yet. I'm telling you, it's hard. Like, I don't think it's hard to go against Scherzer, but I would not be surprised tonight if Minnesota goes in there and beats Toronto. Yankee backers got to be loving that. But I got a feeling on that, right? It just feels that way. Joe Ryan's got a lot of wins, but I don't know if he's gonna struggle tonight all that much. Let's see, Joe Ryan. Can you pull off that upset here? Plus 120, plus 125 in the sports landscape? Why not? Here's a good one. Philadelphia Phillies, New York Mets. This is going to be a series that can bring the Mets a little bit closer to the Phillies so the Phillies can wipe them off the map and not have to do any worrying about what we're going to get here in September. You look at Christopher Sanchez. He is absolutely filthy. Number 1 on the card, last 60 days in xFIP numbers. ERA's under 2. ERA minus, FIP minus, xFIP minus, all elite numbers. Batting average against 222. WHIP is under 1.99. That means you're barely allowing base runners in a game. If we do look at the Mets lineup, though, Lindor, Soto, Marte, Alonso, Vientos, and Beatty, along with Cedric Mullins, do have some pretty good statistics against left-handed pitching, but it's not your everyday left-handed pitcher. If you're looking in the NL Cy Young Award-winning race, yeah, you know who's second? It's Christopher Sanchez now taking over for Zach Wheeler, who's down for the year. But I'm not fading Christopher Sanchez on the night tonight. 78 degrees, so not bad in New York. 9 mile an hour wind blowing out roughly to right field. The focus is going to be on the Philadelphia Phillies. Last time we had with Kodai Senga, and I just told you Kodai Senga's numbers to start the show. Brutal. 240 batting average against, which isn't bad. His whip rate's a 1.6, horrendous. Bad ERA minus, bad FIP minus, bad xFIP minus. High ERA at 5.23, elevated FIP number, and elevated Sierra number. Nothing has worked for Kodai Senga here. Now, the Phillies sometimes have a tendency to strike out, yes, but their bats relatively are hot. Only scored 3 runs yesterday, but they did have many opportunities to cash in more than that. They just weren't able to do that. Senga's last 30 days, 280 ISO against, 366 weighted on base percentage against. Phillies that look good tonight, just based on numbers. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Brandon Marsh, Max Kepler, and Bryson Stott. Only 2 down guys in this lineup going against right-handed pitching over the past month. That's Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos. But you look at that line today, right? Minus 120 is overnight for the Phillies. Now we're seeing FanDuel at 130, DraftKings 132, BetMGM and Bet 365 both at 130. I do think the Phillies are the better team tonight. I think they have the better pitcher and the better lineup. I really do. Kansas City and Chicago. Cameron versus Smith. Don't give up on the bad baseball teams when it comes time, man. 70-degree, I shouldn't say 70, 68-degree temperatures to start tonight. In Chicago, wind blowing out. Wind blowing out at Guaranteed Rate Field, about 9-10 miles per hour. Noah Cameron's on the mound. He's a pretty good pitcher. Now, if I remember on Noah Cameron, where do we have him lined up at? He's got 115 batters faced over the past 30 days. He's 11th on the card today for me. Last 60 days, though, ERA 2.28, phenomenal. Low xFIP minus, low FIP minus, low numbers across the board. He should be able to hold them down. Kansas City on the other side. This might be an opportunity to get some base knocks. Shane Smith, who isn't awful. ERA is high, though, 5.85. xFIP number, 4.12. Sierra number 4.21. Top of that lineup always looks good for Kansas City. And if we look at the action lines here, 135s overnight, they're around that same territory. 130 to 135 is a favorite, but a total listed at 8.5. Yastrzemski, Witt, Pasquantino, Michael Garcia, all extremely high numbers. Salvador Perez, not a lot of big pop, but he does have a 173 ISO over the past month against right-handed pitching. Frazier not doing much. India's been okay. Kyle Isbell's actually been good. 61 at bats here, 411 weighted on base percentage over his past month. There's an opportunity for Kansas City to hit tonight. I do think so. So if I'm looking at that spread, or should I say money line, minus 130 or so, yeah, I'm taking Kansas City tonight. Don't care. Don't care to be heavy. Batter versus pitcher for Mets looks good. DRS Phillies fan. I am a big-time Phillies fan. Yeah, I don't really look at batter versus pitcher, to be honest, though. I don't care about that. I just care about how they're doing last 30, 60 days. Right-handed, left-handed matchups. I mean, sure, it's always nice. Like, hey, this guy's 9 of 11 with 3 home runs against a pitcher. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, but I don't put too much stock overall into that. Here's one where it, it gets a little dicey. Oviedo versus McGreevy. The line is 7.5. And we're talking about Pittsburgh and St. Louis. 70-degree temperatures in St. Louis. You like to see it warmer than that. Wind not really going to affect it all that much. About 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from left field, so not too bad. Lineup looks bad for St. Louis, as it always does, and usually the same for Pittsburgh, but it doesn't look all that bad tonight. And McGreevy's a bad pitcher. 4.54 ERA last 60 days. xFIP minus 103. xFIP 424. Sierra 461. They're all high numbers. But how about the Pittsburgh lineup tonight? Let's take a look at a couple things, because this is one that I don't really have circled, if you will, because I don't have the perfect numbers. But Horowitz has good numbers against righties over the past month. Nick Gonzalez is average. Brian Reynolds above average. Tommy Pham above average. Andrew McCutchen above average. Jack Suwinski above average. Jared Triolo right around average. Joey Bart, no power, but a 423 weighted on base percentage number. A lot of these guys work a lot of walks here, and that could be key. Now, granted, Michael McGreevy doesn't give up a lot of walks, but doesn't strike out many batters. And lefties really get the best of them. Lefties in the lineup tonight for Pittsburgh: Horowitz, Reynolds, Suwinski. Looks like only 3. You'd like to see more than that. But that's one that would be on that borderline of, you know what? One of those nights where finally the Pittsburgh Pirates actually look decent. That could be cued into it. That could be some interesting stuff here. That's one to circle back on tonight, no doubt about it. And that price point is a 7.5 total. Now, Oviedo. Let me see what Ovi's doing here. So I don't have, he's going to get the start. Where's his game log at, though? Back up in the majors, he pitched and started August 4th, 1 inning, 2 earned runs. That was it. His last start was really good against Toronto. And that was the 20th. So again, 6 days ago, 5-6 days ago. Picked up the win, 5 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. That 1 earned run was a home run. 6 strikeouts. Now, if we go to his minor league statistics, he actually has a decent minor league, number here. Now, granted, some of these are rookie ball, A ball, double A ball. In triple A, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned, 3 2/3, 1 earned, and 5 innings pitched, 2 earned. And in those 3 starts at AAA, 3 combined home runs, 2 in the last one that he pitched there. Yeah, you don't want to stress yourself out, though, and say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to take this side. If I'm looking at anything, it's probably from a Pittsburgh perspective there. Angels taking on the Rangers, Soriano versus DeGrom. Another 7.5, 7. Actually, excuse me, 7s are the prevailing number in this game. Favorite overnight for DeGrom, 180. That's dropped. Yeah, it hasn't really dropped that much. 174 at FanDuel, 180s across the board, including 181 at DraftKings. Hasn't moved all that much. If we all do look at Soriano and get his analytics, he's 6th on the card, man, a 3.35 xFIP number. Low Sierra, ERA's around a 4. Metrics look good. So it's not like I'm really trying to snap up and take the Texas Rangers today, to be honest. Now, if we go Angels, perspective at the plate, Neto looks good, Trout looks good, Ward looks good, Moncada, Adele, and Rengifo. That's over the past 30 days. But Jacob DeGrom is on the mound. Here's the question with Jake DeGrom, because I'm going to bring up something here. Let's go DeGrom bomb. Let's look at that last start. Just going to bring up his game log. Last start was 8:15. You say, wait a second. It's 8:25. That's 10 days off. They had to push him back. Just like they did with Zach Wheeler. Hey, give you a couple extra days, maybe a little bit of shoulder discomfort. I can't take that. You know, he has been pitching well this year. 3 starts ago, got beat up 5 innings, 5 earned runs. Against Philadelphia, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs, which quite frankly, I don't think he gave up all of those earned runs himself. I think he might have came out of the game in a reliever, gave up 1 or 2 of those runs. And then his last start was 5 innings pitched, no earned runs. But we might have a shoulder issue here, people. How long are you going with him? Like, does that mean you just want to bet the Angels? No, not really. But if you're going to lay Jacob DeGrom's minus 180 and just say, oh, he only just got pushed back a couple days and he will be fine, we hope so. But this is a litmus test for them. And him going down the stretch, if that shoulder flares up, he just might be gone for the season, which won't be a good thing. All right, keep moving down the list. San Diego and Seattle. That's a night game out on the West Coast. Seattle blew up yesterday. I was surprised they hit Lopez that well. Double-digit runs for Seattle, multiple home runs for the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. J.P. Sears is on the mound. Not a very good pitcher. And if we get Sears, he only had 69 batters that he's faced over the past 30 days. So I don't even know if I have a full 60-day, 20-inning card on this guy. But let's go over and take a look at his game logs here. Where are you at, Searsy? All right, JP. Game log. All right, so we go. He should, though. Why do I? 69 innings. So where did he go? So he pitched on the 20th, the 4th. Supposed to miss, what, 1 or 2 starts, maybe? Last time out was really good, though, on the 20th against the Padres. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned. Or excuse me, against the Giants. Before that, 5 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 earned against Arizona. Got bludgeoned. He did see Seattle recently within the past month. 4 1/3, 3 runs, 2 earned, run home run, 6 Ks with 3 walks. Before that, against Texas, he was really good. See, I don't like the way Seattle's lineup even presents itself to lefties, so I probably won't be playing that. But the number on this game, only a minus 126 for the Mariners. That tells you a lot. Now, Bryce Miller, I think he's last start or coming back, that the Phillies, I think, torched him. Let's go back and check a game log real quick. So he hadn't pitched since the 6th of June. Came back against Philadelphia. 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 2 bombs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Not a very good start there for him. Take a look at the lineup today for the Padres. Even the advanced analytics numbers look good, like with hard hit contact rate. But they're weighted on base percentage against right-handed pitching over the past month. 361, 360, 384, 394, 460, 373, and 355. Ryan O'Hearn and Xander Bogaerts in the middle of that lineup do struggle a little bit with weighted on base percentages, but the power is there for a lot of other guys. Not a ton of strikeouts in that lineup either. That's something interesting here. What's up, Ian Mack? Get this party started right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Francisco says the Pod's money line out here in these streets. We'll see. I don't like Bryce Miller all that much. And by the way, what did Bryce Miller do in the minors when he was working his way back to you, babe? 4 innings pitched, no earned on the first. On the 7th, 3 2/3, 4 earned. 3 of those home runs. Last start, 5 2/3, 2 earned, 1 home run. He might be able to get hit tonight, but it's a true pitcher's ballpark. But it is 80 degrees out in Seattle tonight. Like, how do we get the 60s, high 60s and low 70s on the East Coast, and we're out here scraping the streets in Seattle with 80-degree temperatures at night? Bring that over here. Detroit and the Athletics. That 230 price point for Scooble overnight, who's on the mound for Detroit today, that's gone. 200s or less out there. Minus 198s at DraftKings and FanDuel. 200s at 365 and also BetMGM. Not ducking Scooble. Like I'm not going toe-to-toe with that guy. JT Ginn, not a great pitcher. If we look at Mr. Ginn, he's 13th on the card today with an xFIP of 4.09. Cole Keith, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, Wenzel Perez, Zach McKinstry, all look decent. But Ginn really gets hit up by left-handed batters. That's true in the season and the past 30 days. Keith, Carpenter, Green, Perez, McKinstry, 5 of them. You have 5 opportunities for RBI tonight off of JT Ginn. 82 degrees with the wind blowing in. I don't think it matters for Sacramento. That ball just gets hammered out there. Oh, Monday's always going to be payday. Monday, Fridays, week started off, kick it off in style. Final game of the night, Cincinnati and L.A. Hunter Green's on the mound. Get that power pitcher out there, people. Emmett Sheehan's on the mound. Not a very good pitcher, by the way, either. Sheehan's numbers, he's 234 batting average, which isn't too bad. Whip rate, 1.30. You don't really like that too much. He does have decent metrics, though, with analytics in some spots. ERA minus at 105, so just slightly higher. 96 xFIP minus. Slightly below average or slightly above average for a pitcher, and a 103 xFIP minus. ERA 4.38, that's high. xFIP 4.21, a little bit high. Sierra number 4.11, that's a little bit high as well. Am I crazy to think that we can't get some action from Cincinnati tonight out on the West Coast? 76-degree temperatures in L.A. tonight, Chavez Ravine. Emmett Sheehan, you look at his numbers, very poor against lefties and righties, power number-wise. There's a chance to get some rock'em, sock'em runs out there. I believe it. I do. I believe some action can take place out here. Now, the rest of my day goes here on a Monday. I'm going to be on with Craig Mitch on Newswire coming up at 1 o'clock. Then we're going to get this card into focus because there are spots. I got 5 pitchers, actually 4 pitchers right now that I've circled that I need some in-depth analysis on tonight. Here's the goal, right? I usually, for myself, you want to play the angles that you have, or you want to play the positions that you have angles on, right? But it also comes into this. You can win one game a night, go 1-0. That's great. I mean, of course you can lose it, but hear me out on this. It's really hard to go 2-0 if you have 2 picks, right? So what does that mean? Like, you're designed technically to go 1-1. If you have 3 picks, you can go 2-1 on those. If you have 4 picks, it's hard to go 3-1. You'll probably wind up with 2-2. Do you see where I'm going with this? Like sometimes I used to like stack either 1 pick, 3 picks, 5 picks, or 7 picks to get that edge. Because when you have the even number of games, you got to smoke that card to win money. Otherwise, you're just juicing yourself out. Hey, like 4 games. You can go 4-0. You can go 3-1, no doubt about it. But most of the time, the odds are say good handicap, bad handicap. You might just end up at 50% and you juice out. There is no 50% on 3 games, 5 games, and 7 games. Like you should have an angle on those games and play them and say, let me win 1 more game, then I lose. You can't do that on an even one. Let me win 1 more game, then I lose. Well, in 2 games, you win 1, you lose 1. On 4 games, you win 2, you lose 2. Let me win 1 more. It doesn't happen. But we're looking for some action tonight. And I got guys circled and a couple spots that I absolutely love tonight. Love tonight. And we'll keep that in mind. Let me just see a couple of these later games here. Detroit, San Diego, L.A., Texas, Pittsburgh, Arizona, Milwaukee's a decent one. Eduardo Rodriguez, by the way, is a bad pitcher. I know Milwaukee seems to get more battered by the day at the plate. They still should hammer away. Brandon Woodruff, I'm interested to see how he does against that Arizona lineup tonight because his numbers have been really, really good. A 3 xFIP minus, or 3 xFIP number, xFIP minus 76, ERA 2.47. He's been awesome. He really has been. I do think the Reds get it done tonight. I do. All right, people, the Monday powwow right here, rightwager.com. It's how we get down. Take a look at this card. Go over some numbers, some interesting spots, some pitchers to fade here, some big number props and parlays. Let's get ready for action tonight. I am. So I can't wait tonight. Like, I want to get the people going with some big wins and early. Get to bed early with a ton of wins here. Or wake up with a late night game at 3 a.m. Be like, you know what? We drilled that game. We nailed that game. Ready to go. It's your boy DRS. We'll do this again tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Chat box popping once again. Fantastic stuff. Getting ready for football season. We're ready.